What a machine this 49er team is. Hey, the holes are getting so big now, it's starting to be embarrassing. These two running backs, Rathman and Craig, have done a job. The offensive line has been outstanding. Outstanding.
The receivers have been outstanding. The only thing I can remember that went wrong was the missed extra point. Until this time, 48-10, San Francisco. $72,919 in attendance today at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans. San Francisco 48, Denver 10. We just begin the final quarter. Good look at the Superdome from the Goodyear of the Met Light blimp. Over 97 miles of wire are needed to connect the 8500 light that make up that night sign on the Met Light blimp.
You wonder how it feels to go through a period that Joe Montana's going through. Where, I mean, everyone struggles in what they do, and even some people that are the best, it's still hard, but to make it look this easy and to do the things that he's done, I wonder what it feels like inside.
I've never experienced it, I couldn't tell you.
No, I haven't either, and I just watch him, and he's so cool about it. I know yesterday when we talked to him, I felt more excited about the game tomorrow than he did. And heck, they're not shooting any bullets at us.
No.
There's no pass rushes or blitzes or guys hitting here.
He certainly didn't seem cocky, but he did seem very confident.
Well, and he talking about fear, just the fear of losing and the fear of playing poorly.
Harrington. Brought down just outside the 20 by Romanowski again.
I think everyone's wondering at what point do the Broncos say that's enough and put in Gary Kubiak for John Elway.
I was just starting to think that myself.
Well, it's a type of thing that Elway has never really got started today. I mean, he did run that one in for a touchdown, but this was just not his day, and I don't know that the answer, of course, is to change quarterbacks either.
It is still Elway. Martin Jackson, the man on the move. Elway, sacked by Daniel Stubbs. Steve Young getting ready.
Yeah, I would think that with a 48-10 lead in the fourth quarter, that Steve Young is probably going to come in the next series. That's a nice way to go in, too. I mean, it's not fun. It's not good being a backup quarterback, but, you have to mop up. So you usually go in when you're way ahead or way behind. But when it's the Super Bowl and you're following a guy like Joe Montana, what the heck, smile about it.
Flag on the play as Elway goes back to throw, gets the screen pass up the middle. The Sammy Winder. Kevin Fagan on the stop, gain of 9.
49ers just look like they're quicker and faster. And they have a term in boxing to get off first. The first guy that gets a punch up. The 49ers get off first.
In every case. In every play.
Offside, number 98, defense, 5 yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, still second down.
Antonio Goss, the man who jumped.
Yeah, I don't think Antonio Goss, I think it was 96 they were talking about. I think they changed that. Yeah, I think it was Stubbs.
The one who made the sack the play before, 2nd and 11. Elway almost take it down again. It is. Fumble. The 49ers pick it up. Stubbs recovered the fumble. 16 yards.
Hey, the 49ers aren't showing any mercy on him, Pat.
Wow.
They were bringing the defensive backs on that one. They were blitzing their safeties. They were bringing the corners. And Stubbs picked up the fumble after Elway was hit and fumbled the ball. So watch this. They get the four-man rush. Now watch the corners coming from the outside. See Griffin, 29. There you see the other corner, Pollard, coming from the other side. And they're the guys that flush him out. Griffin's the guy that hits him. The corner who blitzed him finally hits him and knocked the ball out.
Millen and Elway in conversation. I don't know what about.
I don't know. Matt Millen, of course, played against the Broncos and John Elway for so many years when Matt Millen was with the Raiders.
First and goal at the 1. Montana still in. Ray. 49er touchdown. 20-yard out. Over in to try for the extra point. We have 13 minutes and 47 seconds left to play.
And this is complete domination. The 49er offense has beaten the Denver Bronco defense in every way a defense can be beaten.
55-10. With 13:47 left to play. This is just unfortunate. And Super Bowl record for number of points scored. They broke the record, the 49ers did, of the Bears. Well, they beat the Patriots. Same field. Over to kickoff. Right down to 26. The return of 26.
Yeah, we just saw Pete Kubler going in there, Pat, on defense, number 67. He's playing his last football game today. He's after this game for the 49ers, he's going to retire at 9 years. He's really had a good career. He's played for the 49ers. He went to the USFL, then came back to the 49ers. Had some injuries, had a bad shoulder, then a tackle in, but a real good player for this 49er team.
This is nose tackle, but he's playing defensive end down here suffering. Michael Walter made the stop.
And the ironic thing, he's playing his last football game against the Denver Broncos, and he's going to go live in Denver. He was thinking of a good place to raise a family, and that's where he's going to take his family. He bought a house in Denver, and he's going to live in Denver. So he's playing his last game against the Broncos, and then he's going to move in with them.
2nd and 4. A lot of smiles on the 49er sideline. Elway takes out of the pocket by Stubbs, gets it to Melvin Granton. And he gets the first down, goes out of bounds. Matt Millen.
Matt Millen, after he makes any tackle, always talks to the guy. He always has something to say, and he kind of baits those guys. Now watch him, after he tackles them, he talks to him, then he makes them push him or punch him. Now when they do that, the official's supposed to call a penalty, and that's what Millen's trying to get. Defense who enjoys playing football. Matt Millen was made to be a linebacker. He just loves playing.
And reborn here, too.
You know, the Broncos are reduced to a point that they can't even get the snap from the center anymore. And there were people that anticipated a blowout, and sometimes in these Super Bowls, you say, oh, it's going to be a great game, and then it's not. And I think a lot of people thought that this would be a blowout, and then it is. And they can say, well, I told you it was going to be a blowout.
Well, you can always hope. Second and 11. Elway again chased out of the pocket. And down. Stubbs and Roberts. Back up defensive end.
Yeah, the 49ers have so many good ones. Yeah, you got Pierce Holt, you got Cooper, you got Fagan, and then you bring in a Roberts and a Stubbs, and they're all good pass rushers. They're all strong guys. You know, some of them quick, some of them are bull rushers, but they can just keep throwing those defensive guys at you. And then when you have that offense to go with it, that's a pretty good sandwich.
Third down for Denver at 23. The Lions taken from behind the line of scrimmage by Kevin Fagan. Loss of 6.
Sometimes you think, is there any way that you could just call off the game? I always laugh when people say, well, one thing about them, they didn't quit. Well, of course they didn't quit. They don't let you quit. You got to play 60 minutes when you're fine.
Off the side of the foot of Michael Rand. We have 11:13 left now. The 49ers leading Denver by the score of 55-10. Look out the ball! 13 left to play. Jerry Rice got on the baseball cap.
Hey, they just couldn't handle Jerry Rice or anyone that went into the post today, and they had 4 touchdowns into the post. Look at those defensive backs over there, and they really put a blanket on those Bronco receivers. Elway didn't have much of a day, but he really didn't have too many guys open to throw to either.
Joe Montana still the quarterback for the 49ers. This is Flagler. Tackled by Rick Dennison.
Yeah, there's an amazing guy, Pat, right there. Pierce Holt, number 78, playing as well as he does in his second year. They're taking Montana out now. They finally took him out and they're putting in Steve Young.
Montana was 22 out of 29. 297 yards, 5 touchdowns. Flagler again. By Brooks. And he goes to the 49er baseball cap. 5 touchdowns, a new Super Bowl single game record. And 22 out of 29. Super Bowl record set today. And almost every one conceivable. Third down for the 49ers. 8-14. Flagler and Sidney were running backs for Young. He has all kinds of time. That's the call incomplete. Headed to Wesley Walls. Vance Johnson will go back deep for Denver. Barry Helton will do the punting. 55-10, 9:43 left to play. Not much left to analyze, is there?
Well, I think we're going to be able to analyze backup quarterbacks now.
Johnson, let it roll. Kubiak warming up now for Denver. 46 yards. yard to punt. Broncos will take over just inside their own 20. As it covers network sporting events around the country. That's how it looks inside. They're having fun. Gary Kubiak is now the Denver quarterback. Long day for John Elway. By Canada State.
Here's what they do with Joe Montana. He's always had that elbow problem, so it's a lot like a baseball pitcher. Once they finish the day, then they just kind of wrap it up and put it away. You got an arm like that, you just pack it around in some kind of case, then you wrap it up again and you put it away till next year. Kubiak under pressure. And down by Pete Kugler. Kugler is thinking that this is his last game. Let's make this last one a good one. And here you are at the end of your career. You're playing your last game, and you might as well just fight that thing out to the end. Yeah, it always has to be a double-edged sword. And on one hand, you're kind of happy that it's over. You are retiring. You're making your decision. But on the other hand, in fact, I talked to him in the streets about it the other night. You wonder if you're going to worry 5 years from now that maybe you left a year too early.
That's 49ers. Fifth sack. Kubiak was playing back this time. Complete to Ricky to Teal. Out to about the 43. Johnny Jackson made the stop.
Ricky Teal is the guy that has to have surgery in the off-season. He cracked a kneecap during the season, and they held him out. They just rested him. He only caught 10 passes all year. As he said, it's just been kind of a lost and wasted year for him, and he hopes to have the surgery in the off-season, get the knee better, and come back and be a complete player again.
Kubiak again, all batted down. Hit by Haley. Deflected.
Here's again, we were talking to John Elway yesterday. He says the key to the 49er defense is Charles Haley. That when they break the line, he wants to go up and find out where he is, because he's their most active guy, their best pass rusher, and where he lines up determines what they're going to do. And he's just one of those guys who was all over the place. He'll go inside and outside, bat balls down, a very active and very good player.
Winder is the lone setback. Second and 10. Kubiak throws behind the Teal this time.
Yeah, if you look at what the 49ers have done to the Denver quarterback, look, they've sacked him 5 times, hurried him 10 times, made him fumble once, batted 2 balls down and intercepted 2. So that is a statistic that shows what a good job the 49er defense has done today.
Elway finished 10 out of 26 and 2 picked off. Only threw for 108 yards. That was the key to their success going into the game. Kubiak from behind by Daniel Stubbs, a loss of 1.
John Elway is going to take the heat, and this is his 3rd Super Bowl, his 3rd loss in a Super Bowl, but as he said, he would rather be there and take a swing at it. He also said before he's ever going to be considered a great quarterback, he knows that he has to win one of these things.
Taylor back. Fields the punt. Out to the 31, stopped by Tim Lucas. Getting ready in the 49er locker room, Huey Lewis. And Eddie DeBartolo.
Yeah,
Junior.
this is Eddie DeBartolo. There's Huey Lewis right there. They're getting the celebration done before the The game's still 6 minutes, 5 and 58 seconds. Huey Lewis and Eddie DeBartolo down there, they're waiting for the team to come in.
And we'll be in there as well after the game is over for the presentation of the championship trophy, the Lombardi Trophy. Each player, of course, will get the honor of being a member of the repeating Super Bowl champions and also $36,000. Flag on the play.
Yeah, who said you can't repeat? Well, in fact, at the ring ceremony last year, when the 49ers got their rings, Joe Montana was the first guy to bring it up, and he said, let's repeat. Roger Craig already has the hat. They're still in the fourth quarter.
Number 66, offense.
Roger Craig is talking about three-peats. You hear that?
Yeah.
No words. You win a Super Bowl. Hey, good. You know. Then can you repeat? Then you repeat. Now you talk about three-peats.
Well, they certainly have got enough people to accomplish that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Look at that. They got the team of the decade there in the locker room already. They got hats, and I'm sure someone will make up a thing now for three-peats. I like that. Yeah, good work. You got your peak and two peaks and go for three-peats.
Will be their fifth Super Bowl championship. Flagler again. The 33, or the 23, make that. Up by Warren Powers.
Hey, it is the guys, that offensive line, that really did the job today. They protected Joe Montana. Guy McIntyre going to a Pro Bowl, starting left guard.
Yes, back to back. Now let's go for
The coordinating producer of Super Bowl number 24 is Charles H. Milton III. Boy, he did a heck of a job this week. Or on this event, I should say. It's the Harry Sydney 7-yard pickup. Super Bowl 24 produced by Robert D. Stinner. Directed by Sandy Grossman. Super Bowl Today produced by Eric Mann. The Super Bowl Today directed by Duke Struck. Senior producer David Winter. And the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. Hats off to all of them.
How about Jim Burt bringing his son out there, giving him 5 kisses in a row, and then handing him his helmet and telling him to sit on the bench? That's Super Bowl celebration.
Absolutely. And Mike Sherrard. Jim Burt. Another guy who found new life with the 49ers.
Hey, he's getting more kisses from his son. That's a Super Bowl record. I remember when he played for the Giants, he brought his son down there, and it was headbutts in those days. Now, a few years later, it's kisses. They're shaking hands and introducing all the guys. You talk about a thrill. That's a thrill for the son, but I'll tell you, the dads have to be awfully happy, too.
Flagler the ball carrier. Done by Andre Townsend. Clock running with 4:20 left to play, and the 49ers leading 55-10.
Yeah, but Jim Burt's the only guy that could do that, Pat. You see Tom Rathman, he's talking to Norm Hecker. Yeah, but Jim Burt's the only guy that could bring his son down there and have a Super Bowl record of father kissing son with 10 and introduce him to all the linemen in the Super Bowl on the bench. He's still going, that's 11. Matt Miller said, where are my kids?
Where are my kids?
Bring me some kids.
Flagler. Stop by Rick Dennison. Gain of 10 and another first down. Tough day for Dan Reeves.
There's no bigger gap in football than the difference between winning a Super Bowl, as this sideline is, and losing a Super Bowl, as this sideline is. It's the biggest gap in sports.
Just to announce to the crowd and to us that Montana is the unanimous Super Bowl MVP for the 3rd time. And that's another record.
quarterback and a tough guy like Tom Radford swing to your body, you could just pop some vertebrae right out of your back if you're Eddie DeBartolo. But you know, one of the things about Eddie DeBartolo is these players really love this guy. I mean, they really do. And they said, the guy has so much money, he has everything. Joe Montana was saying, the only thing we can give him in return for what he does for us is the Super Bowl. That's the only thing he can't buy himself.
Sydney straight ahead, stopped by Warren Powers. We'll get the 2-minute warning before another play. That's it. So 2 minutes to go. 55 to 10, 49ers.
We're back and we got some blizzard here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's Jeff Fuller, baby. We did it for you, Fuller. Number one. We did it for you, baby. The whole team, it was for you. The best in the world.
That, of course, was Chet Brooks talking about Jeff Fuller, who was injured earlier in the season. He and Chet were great buddies, and still are. Third down for Denver. Let's go. 2 minutes to go. Young. Away from a sack. Away from another sack. Block. First down, out of bounds. Stop the clock after a scramble of 11 yards. Keenan Turner celebrating. Ellis Wallace has got the block and spring.
That was Steve Wallace on Warren Powers, number 91. Watch it, it's going to happen. Wallace is number 74. He got his leg broken in last year's Super Bowl. Watch him, he's going to block 91 the second time around. Right there. And I think Steve Wallace is one of the best tackles in football. He and Bubba Parrish share that left tackle position now for the 49ers, but I think that guy right there, 74, is one of the best in the game.
First and 10. Young is just going to run out as he kneels and does nothing else. Another happy man, Matt Millen.
Well, he was happy. He was waived. He was waived by the Raiders this year, picked up by the 49ers as a free agent, and now he ends up in the Super Bowl.
Tonight on CBS, John Schneider and Paul Rodriguez star as rival bail bondsman out to catch killer in the world premiere of the new CBS series Grand Slam. And of course, after our post-game show, we'll be in the full locker room. Young again, this deal. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcasts or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Happy 49er Day.
I tell you, if you're a football player, a football coach, football family, there's no higher honor than winning the Super Bowl. There's no better feeling than this feeling right now. Because this year, you're the best. George Seifert in his first year, and they could never take it away.
What a year they had. What a way to finish it. Well done. the stretch, they were just about perfect.
I think they were perfect in all areas and led by a guy who probably played as good a football as the game of football has ever seen.
These last three games, Minnesota, the Rams, and this one, the performance by Joe Montana was just almost unbelievable.
You want to talk about being the best, because he said you say that until your career's over, and he said I don't think that I'm over. I don't even think I'm close to being over.
He hopes to play, he said, until he's 40.
How would you like to be a kid getting a piggyback ride from your father off the field of a Super Bowl victory? Isn't that something? The MVP of the Super Bowl, he has to go in and fix his own chair in the locker room.
3 times. The MVP. The final score again, the 49ers 55, the Denver Broncos 10. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl 24.